Kit Kats can read. Hey guys, it's Katie and welcome to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a non-spoiler book review on Voices by Sue Mayfield. Now this was a book that I read in my childhood when I was a teenager, and it was literally like 14 years ago. It was such a long time, but I never actually managed to complete this book, I don't think, because I don't remember the ending whatsoever, or to be honest, not a lot of it. So it was nice to dive back into this book and just have all the nostalgic feels to it. And what I liked about this book is because it was published like so long ago, we have like the videotapes and the cassette tapes, and it really gave this sort of like nostalgic feeling, and I just sort of miss that because I grew up in that sort of like world and area. Now I was looking, and this book I don't think is actually published anymore. I think you can get it from like secondhand sellers on Amazon, so if you do actually wish to get it, that's the best way to do it. That's how I actually ordered the sequel to this, which is called Poisoned. So it is like actually a first book, which I didn't realise. I thought it was a standalone, but to be honest, how this book ends, it's like, oh, I just want more from this book, and yeah, I absolutely adored it. So for those of you that don't know what the actual story is about, we have a girl called Isabel. She's the main character of this story, and one day her and her family are off to Scotland, and on this beach, because Isabel's boyfriend has just broken up with her, she's obviously distraught, and her sister's like, hey, let's write a message and put it in a bottle and throw it out to the sea in hopes of all of the fish in the sea that one of them will write back. So it starts off as like quite a joke, and then not long after they return home in Manchester, and then they receive this letter as a response, because in the letter they sort of left their postal address and they were like, please write to me if you're actually interested, if you're not a jerk, if you're not like this. She gets a letter and a response from an actual guy, and it comes from an actual island, and so she's just like, what? This guy's actually written back and he seems kind of cool. At the same time, she's also in a play at her school, The Tempest by William Shakespeare, and how this book is written is actually really unique as well. It's written like a stage set. So for example, how the beginning is they will show like all the main characters, and like for example here, like at the very beginning, it shows all the main characters. So Isabel Bright, a girl in the lower sixth. So it says all the characters that are in the book, and I thought that was quite unique. And then on the very next page, it shows everybody that is in this play and every part that everybody has got, including Isabel. And then like this, for example, it will say prologue, and it will give stage directions on like what Isabel is doing and who is speaking. It's not just Isabel, we have her friend Macy as well. She's quite feisty. I quite like her character. She's a really good best friend to Isabel, and she just sticks up for her all the time. She's always there for her, and she's just a really good friend, and she's got like a singing part that's in the play. And then because Isabel ends up with the part of Miranda, who has the part of her opposite love interest but her ex, and so it's just become like a big mash of craziness that is like, oh my god, like what's gonna happen between them. So obviously there's tension, and you know there's possible feelings that are still there, but at the same time Isabel is writing to this guy called Duncan that's on this island, and she's just sort of stuck in this little rut of, you know, who does she like more? And her friend, she does not like Jamie, her ex, at all. So her friend is just like, why don't you go towards this guy? And Isabel's just like, I don't know, I'm not really feeling it, and that sort of thing. So it's just like a romance as well as like this play that's going on. So it would describe like the play. And then also Isabel goes to Duncan, and she's just like, hey, you live on an island, do you have anything like seaweed? So he sort of helps with the production. So it's just a really sort of like great story about friendship, about romance, about a play, about acting, so if you like drama. And you know, it gets like quite dramatic and interesting, and you honestly get yourself involved within like the play that's going on as well. But as I was reading this, I really wanted to go to a beach. I really wanted to sit on a beach. I wanted to go pick up some seaweed and some debris and some driftwood, and it reminds me of like Castaway, Sims Castaway, and it just reminds me of like Nil by Lynn Matson, the book, and just any book that's like survival on a beach, and I adored it. So like I say, this book you can't actually get anymore, I don't believe, but I was looking on Amazon and that's just like how it looked to me. I didn't look anywhere else at all. But Sue Mayfield has written other books as well. She's written a book called Blue and a book called Reckless, and they're on the back of this book right here. But she's also written other books as well, so if you would like to venture into other books. But the book Blue, I think I read Blue when I was in secondary school, and it had a lot of praise like at the time. So yes, I think Blue is quite a bestseller. I think if I had to have a favourite character, it would honestly be Duncan. Like, I fell in love with Duncan myself. I really wanted to meet him. I wanted him as a best friend, and he just seemed so helpful and so like on it and so straight to the point, and like he would help Isabel no matter what, even though they're complete strangers. Like, he would just do anything that she asked, sort of thing. And like, I liked that how Isabel was starting to like do the same towards him, and it was kind of like this like pen pal relationship that was going on, but at the same time there was like this quirky like romantic feel to it as well. I think my favourite part of the book had to be when Duncan was describing like what his island was like, and like how there's only like one plane, one airport, and like how the bus there's only like 3 a day, and how his mum and dad have like 3 jobs each. I just found all that little section like really interesting, so that was like my favourite part. But honestly, all of the parts and every time that those two emailed each other or sent letters to each other, I actually really enjoyed, and I found myself like trying to get back to the story, like, come on, write to each other. It's like really cool. So yeah, like I say, the ending of this book, I really enjoyed it, and I couldn't flaw this book whatsoever. I liked all of it, and yeah, I totally adored it, so I couldn't help but give this book a complete 5 out of 5 Kit Kats. I loved it so much, and I went straight on to order the sequel, and I can't wait for the sequel to arrive because it sounds like it's going to be really heated. And I love the cover to this book, guys. It's like the word Voices, which is the title of the book, but it's like the message in a bottle, and it's the bottle and it's in the ocean, and it makes me want to write a message in a bottle to somebody. I want to find a glass bottle with a cork and then put a message in it, and just to see if somebody actually writes back to me. I don't know why, I just found that like really interesting and kind of quirky and cool. So I'm very like happy that I actually managed to finally read this book, because I purchased it in 2012 actually. So I have had it for 13, 14, 15, for 5 years. So that's quite bad that I haven't read it in 5 years. Even being so excited to find it. And actually, the story of me trying to find it is I never actually remembered the title of it. I just remembered there being a bottle on the cover. And the way I just found it was I searched it on Google, book with a bottle on the cover. And I eventually found it. It was a lot of research, and I was very excited when I managed to find it, and I was very excited when it came in the mail. So, and I'm very glad that I actually finally got around to reading it, because it was just a total cute and sweet read, and like how it was written was so simplistic that, you know, I wasn't struggling through it, and it was explaining like Shakespeare like really well, and they were just sort of explaining what the lines meant, so you're kind of like learning about the Shakespeare play as you go, and I really liked that as well. There were loads of points that I adored about this book, and I just totally recommend it. It's very cheap from sellers on Amazon. It's such a shame that it's not actually in print anymore, but I just wanted to review this book because I loved it so much. And I just like to share my thoughts on it for you guys. So if there's anything else that you'd like to learn about this book, then do let me know down below in the comments, and I'll be sure to answer you as soon as possible. But if you've liked this review, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done already, please do subscribe to my channel. I post videos all the time, and If you are subscribed and you don't want to miss a video, then there is a notification bell icon that you can click on, and that way it will ping up as soon as I've uploaded a video and you won't be able to miss any at all. But if you do any of those things, I will totally love you to pieces. Thank you very much for watching my video as always, guys. Keep smiling, keep reading and be happy, and I'll see all of you wonderful awesome people in my next video. Bye!